Firebrand alt-right leader and former White House strategist Steve Bannon is in Anaheim tonight.
He's the keynote speaker at the California GOP convention. KCAL9 political reporter Dave Bryan is live in Anaheim with more on what Bannon had to say to a fired-up audience. Dave?
Yeah. Well, no question about that, Lena and Jeff. In fact, at times this rally or speech actually felt more like it was a rally, like getting the football team together in the locker room to go get them. Steve Bannon told the California Republicans they can win back California, but they have to do it themselves. They can't be looking for other people, including political leaders, to get the job done.
Are not just going to sit there and give you your country back. You're going to have to take it back.
President Trump's former chief strategist and the leader of Breitbart, Steve Bannon, urged California Republicans to join the movement against the ruling political class in California and across the country.
The permanent political class that runs this country is one of the great dangers we face. Now, the K Street crowd, the donor class, and the politicians they own. They have taken this country in a very, very dangerous direction.
Bannon's theme was Republicans can take back California, and part of that, he said, is recognizing who the enemy is.
It's time in California we start to have some victories. No, the resistance is this permanent political class, this combination of lobbyists and consultants and corporatists and globalist elites. In the heart of the resistance, the beating heart of it, is Silicon Valley.
Bannon occasionally drifted off course and talked about other Republicans. He was critical of former President George W. Bush, who just this week made some critical comments about President Trump's administration.
President Bush, to me, embarrassed himself. Speechwriter wrote a highfalutin speech. It's clear he didn't understand anything he was talking about. He equates the Industrial Revolution, the Agricultural Revolution, globalization. He has no earthly idea whether he's coming or going. Just like it was when he was President of the United States.
Now, Steve Bannon also at one point said that if things continue along the route they are now, with President Trump getting a second term and the Republicans staying in power, he fully expects that within 10 to 15 years, California will try to secede from the country. Harkening back, he said, to America's Civil War days. We're live in Anaheim. Jeff, Lena, back to you.
Yeah, Dave, kind of give us a sense of just how energetic or the number of people were at this crowd when Bannon says it's time to win in California again. You know, Democrats have been in power for a long time here. So was there an enthusiasm that they saw there tonight?
There was a great deal of enthusiasm. He won multiple, rounds of applause during this speech, which lasted about 40 minutes or so. And the people that we talked to afterwards said that they felt that they were really refreshed, that it was something new, that there are different ways to get things done. And his emphasis on grassroots campaigning was really important to them. They feel like this is a chance for California Republicans to really start to get their act together again.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Dave, thank you so much. Reporting live, Dave Bryan tonight.